Hey, welcome into Prize Picks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. We always encourage you to download the Prize Picks app from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or prizepicks.com. And we make sure to tell you to use the code 5, F-I-V-E, get that initial deposit matched up to $100. You got to use the code upon sign-in. Put down up to 100. They'll match up to 100. They'll do it once. You don't have to put down 100, but if you want the $100, you can do it. You can put down just $10. That's fine. And they'll give you $10 to play. There are no rollovers. Go to prizepicks.com and use the code FIVE. All right, I'm Ethan Skolnick. You follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick and at 5 Reasons Sports. We got David Eversole. You can follow him at David W. Eversole. And Eric Wadicki. You can follow him at Eric Wadicki. So we're going to get into the NFL games today. We got 3, and actually they're all meaningful, which is kind of weird. The NFL actually got this accidentally right this time instead of giving us dog games at the end of the season. So we've got the Vikings, we've got the Bengals, we've got the Colts and the Steelers, we've got the Broncos and the Lions. All of these teams actually, I guess with the exception of the Vikings to a certain degree, well, not all of them, they've got something to play for at this stage. And so we're going to get into them one by one here and give you our best picks. We also do want to mention there's some new features on Prize Picks. You'll notice them. It's called Demons and Goblins. Basically, it gives you different options on a particular player. So for a goblin, for instance, it'll be a higher prop, but it'll pay out more. On a demon, that's the green one. The goblin. I'm sorry, excuse me. The demon is the red and orange one. I'm still learning to explain this. The goblin is the green one. The demon will offer you a higher prop, but a higher payout if you include it. The demon will include a lower prop, but a lower payout. Okay, so just so you understand, and then you got to play them, play them over. But we're not really going to get into those that much. We're going to tell you the prop that we like, the general prop that we like. If you want to adjust the number on it, you can go ahead and do that, and it'll affect, again, what you ultimately get paid out. So let's start on the Vikings and the Bengals today. Eversole, what is your favorite prop on this one?
Well, looking at this game, I think that both pass defenses are kind of susceptible here. So I'm going to look to Jake Browning, who's been really, really solid. But I'm going to play his standard number at the 229.5. I would probably take him over. You see his last 2 performances have been really, really good in terms of yardage. So I like him over his regular number at 229.5. And if you're feeling a little more conservative, you could take the Goblin play at 199.5. But I like Browning in this offense. I think he's solid as long as he doesn't make mistakes. He's going to be able to move the ball today against Minnesota.
I kind of like, to that end, I like Jamar Chase today. I am going to play a Goblin just because when I saw it, I was like, okay, I might have played this anyway. And to be honest, that's, I think, the way to approach these Goblin ones is if you see a prop and you're like, okay, I kind of like that prop, and then you see a Goblin next to it and you get paid out more for it, then your inclination maybe to go play it. So I saw Jamar Chase at over half a touchdown today. He's played really well in these spotlight games. Typically, David mentioned not a great pass defense that he's facing. I know Brian Flores, et cetera, et cetera. I think Chase gets a touchdown today. Let's make this simple. So I'm going to play him there, and then I also on the other side of this, and then I'll go to you, Eric. I like Ty Chandler under 58.5 rushing yards today on the Minnesota side. Their rushing attack has been kind of inconsistent. Eric, what are you seeing here today?
Yeah, so I'm looking kind of at that Vikings defense, and Brian Flores is going to bring the house a lot. So I see the Bengals going ahead and running the ball quite a bit in this one. I'm going to go with Joe Mixon over 14.5 rush attempts. He's got 40 combined over the last 2 weeks. They've been leaning on the run game with Jake Browning in at quarterback a little bit more. And I think that that's going to continue in a game that's probably going to be pretty close. So I think that they'll be able to continue to run the ball throughout the game.
Okay, let's go to Colts and Steelers now. Eric, I'll let you start on this one.
Colts and Steelers. The Colts, I'm gonna keep it simple. I've shown Jaylen Warren quite a bit of love all season long. I'm gonna continue to do so. His rushing yards prop is set at 44.5. This Colts rush defense is not very good. I think he goes over. And honestly, if given the choice, I like the demon. I like the demon in this one at 59.5 even. I think he goes over that number today against a really leaky Colts rough defense.
Okay. I am going to play, and then I'll go to you, Eversole. I'm going to play Minshew over on 21.5 pass completions today. He's been averaging 23, close to 23 over the past 5. He's gone over that last 3. Seem to be more confident with him throwing the ball up late. See if he can carry them in. He has these little spells where he plays well for about a month. So I'm gonna hang with him today. Excuse me. Eversole, what do you like on this one?
Well, if you look at the Colts, I mean, the offense kind of runs in terms of the passing game around Michael Pittman, who's been really solid this season. I like his regular number at 76.5. You could probably take that pretty confidently, just his normal routine payout. The 59.5 seems like a real gimme with him. And also on the touchdown, kind of like with the Jamar Chase thing, I like him over the 0.5 on the Demon side for a higher payout. So if you like Pittman, you could go in a multiple directions with him in this game.
Okay. So there we go. Let's go to the evening game. I cannot believe that the Broncos are in the mix here. That's insane. Broncos and Lions tonight. I will tell you, I am actually playing the Russell Wilson stuff under. I don't feel like he's got some demons and goblins there. If you see again, we're discussing this. I don't see a demon for him on the passing yards. I saw a goblin,
he's got
which is
one. It's like
249.
249. Yeah, he's got a demon 249. He's got a goblin at 199.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the 199, he may end up going over that. I think just generally, I would look at his props and play them under today. They have found something by using him less. I was watching Orlovsky's somebody I actually trust on ESPN. He might be the only one, and he talked about them simplifying the offense here, leaning more on the run game, and just keeping things short, quick. So I think that continues again today. So I'm going to say I would play the Wilson stuff under. So just look at all of his props. Again, the demons and goblins are up to you guys. It's just you play them and you sort of adjust what the payouts would be. But I'm going to play him under. I'm playing Jamar Gibbs over on just about everything today. He's been one of my favorite picks. I still don't understand why they're using Montgomery quite so much, but I'm gonna play Jamar Gibbs over 14.5 on fantasy score today, and just figure that there's going to be enough meat on the bone. I mean, look at that. So I'm going to play Jamar Gibbs over on fantasy score today over at 14.5. Wadicki, what do you like here?
I feel exactly the same way about Jared Goff as you feel about Russell Wilson. The Broncos' pass defense over the last 4 or 5 weeks is allowing just 210 a game through the air. His number is set at 254.5. He's been really pretty bad of late. And I don't see that number hitting for Jared Goff today.
What do you think, David?
Yeah, I agree with both those assessments on the quarterback side, the unders. But in terms of the Denver pass attack, Cortland Sutton has kind of been the one who's emerged throughout the year in that offense. So if I was going to be positive about anybody, I would maybe look at him over the 55.5, just a standard play. You see that he's been well over in 4 out of the last 5. Or you could take a flyer on him if you wanted to go the demon route at over to the 79. But you're taking a big risk there. He's been kind of in between that. But he's the one who kind of gets the work in terms of the offense. But they're just not a big passing attack. So it's kind of feast or famine on the Denver side. But on Detroit, I mean, if you look at the weapons, you got to look at the tight end position and Sam Laporta. So his standard play is at 48.5 yards. You can see he's been really up and down, but he had that huge game against the Saints. I think he gets back on track. But if you look at the targets at 7, I like Laporta in this game to kind of bounce back. I would take him probably on his standard play over the 48.5.
So a lot to play today. We didn't even get into the NBA stuff. So check out the Twitter feeds later. Myself, Brady, Alex, Greg will all be posting Twitter feeds with the Heat getting a rematch against Chicago tonight, and a fairly full NBA slate tonight too. So a lot going on PrizePicks. Make sure you use the code 5 FIVE. Again, Vikings Bengals. Well, we like a lot of stuff. Mixon was one that jumped out here. I like Chase over half a touchdown. Minshew also on the Colts game. I like him over. Pittman receiving yards was one that came up. Wadicki's favorite, Jalen Warren. We can play him over today. I think Jamar Gibbs is a lock on that fantasy score. And Sutton as a possible receiver play on the Broncos, and also Goff and Wilson. I think we collectively believe that you would play most of those numbers under on the night game. So you know what's interesting too? That typically national TV games, for whatever reason this year, have gone under. It's been a real trend, with the exception, of course, of Thursday night, where a certain Charger team didn't show up. But for the most part, these games have gone under this year. Just something to look at as you're looking at overall props, because obviously yards lead to points typically. So there we go. Again, we thank you for everybody who's joined today. Use the code 5. You can watch the replay here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to be doing more shows. And again, check out our NBA picks tonight on all of the Twitter feeds. Have a good day, everybody.